headlines for bringing you the news behind schedule. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Radio Nigeria. South Zone News at 3. The headlines: Women call for more legislation to reposition the girl child in Nigeria. Legal practitioner calls for scrapping of state independent electoral commissions. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed wins 2019 Nobel Peace Prize. Today's commentary is on checking trafficking of girls and other victims. Details in a moment. What can do sign language?
The sports you said you did, I have not seen it. It's not here. It's not on that folder.
I'm going live. Good afternoon. The greatness of Nigeria lies in our collective efforts and unity. Therefore, let's unite. The news in full. My name is Rachel Onah. As the global community celebrates the Day of the Girl Child today, women advocates are calling for more legislation that will encourage and reposition the girl child in Nigeria. One of the women, who is the director of a non-governmental organization, Arise for Gender and Livelihoods Initiatives, Mrs. Deborah Effiong, said, although there have been some level of progress in the education of the girl child and her other issues, more still needed to be done. Mrs. Effiong explained that the theme, Girl Force, unscripted and unstoppable, portrays the girl as limitless.
The story had issues. I edited and sent and told you to go and tell to listen. So I removed the one you don't want.
Another woman, a member of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, Mrs. Hilda Desmond Inekiri, said a lot of convictions have been recorded on issues of rape and abuse of girls, urging victims of sexual molestation to report attackers. Mrs. Desmond Inakari said the perpetrators should suffer the shame instead of the victims. The International Day of the Girl Child is celebrated annually on the 11th of October, and it highlights the challenges that girls face. The state chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, University of Calabar Chapter, Comrade John Edo, has urged victims of molestation in the academic community to be courageous enough to report such case to the school authority so that erring staff or lecturers can be appropriately sanctioned. Comrade John, who gave the indication while reacting to the recent documentary over some Rwanda lecturers who allegedly harassed students sexually in both University of Lagos and University of Ghana, said it would act as deterrent to others. Comrade John acknowledged that such acts was common in institutions of higher learning, but pointed out that school authorities such as the University of Calabar have a proactive policy on sexual harassment meant to curb the disturbing trend. Speaking on the rise of sexual harassment in academic institutions in spite of the existing zero tolerance policies against the practice, the state chairman of ASU opined that the situation had remained what it is because most of the victimized students do not report the matter to appropriate channels. Contributing to the case, the Cross River State Chairman, Child Protection Network, Barrister James Ibo, called for the strengthening of policies to ensure that students, especially the females, were given adequate protection in schools. Way forward, Mr. Ebo urged the citizenry not to defend or protect perpetrators of sexual molestation in society, especially when they have been found guilty of the act. The Environmental Rights Action Friends of the Earth Nigeria has identified illegal refining, pipeline vandalism, theft, and related crude oil issues as some of the major factors that contribute to the destruction of the environment and the ecosystem. Head of the group in Bayelsa State, Mr. Alagwa Morris, stated this while receiving copies of a policy brief from officials of the Institute for Niger Delta Studies, Niger Delta University, who paid the environmental rights group an advocacy visit in Yenagoa. Alambo Datoye brings us the rest of the story. Practitioner Mr. Peter Owadie wants state independent electoral commissions to be scrapped to allow for the conduct of government elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The legal practitioner made the remark in Benin City while giving his thoughts on how best the third tier of government could be strengthened to enhance its performance. Mr. Wadie was of the view that state governors most times determine who comes into power at the local government through the state electoral bodies, thereby making council chairmen and councillors submissive to them. Practitioner observed that some functions of the local government, such as primary health care and cleaning of marketplaces, have been taken over by state governments. He called for adequate sensitization of Nigerians on the relevance of the local government. Wadie added that putting a stop to joint account by state and local governments and enacting in the Constitution autonomy for local government was essential towards ensuring that the local councils perform optimally. Government at all levels have been urged to give more attention to tackling the challenges affecting the sights of children with albinism in the country. The founder of the Albino Foundation, Mr. Jake Epele, who stated this at a program to mark the World Sight Day in Uyo Akwa Ibom State, said that challenges of sight confronting children with albinism in the country can only be addressed through proactive efforts led by public institutions in the country. Correspondent Akim Noble tells us more. Welcome to Radio Nigeria, South Noon is at 3. The headlines. Women call for more legislation to reposition the girl child in Nigeria. Legal practitioner calls for scrapping of state independent electoral commissions. Still ahead. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed wins 2019 Nobel Peace Prize for business, entertainment, sports, commentary, and weather. Do stay with us. Back, the news continues. Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, says 85% of funds to be raised in the 2020 budget will be given to states and local governments in order to tackle issues of salaries and infrastructure. For details of this and more on business news, let's join Tony Ahigbe. The 2019 Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who made peace last year with bitter foe Eritrea. Nkem Ugochukwu has more on foreign news. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was awarded. Tiwa Savage kept a lot of people awake last night when she shared a video of 3 young ladies insulting her at a popular radio station in Lagos. The 3 young ladies were seen saying some derogatory words about the music star. Tiwa Savage went on to call out the ladies in the video over their comments. It didn't end there. She advised them to be bold enough to say those same words to her when they meet her personally. All is now set for the Reverse Queen of Peace Beauty pageant slated for Sunday, the 13th of October 2019 at the Hotel Presidential Port Harcourt. Chairman Media Colleagues Development Initiative, organizer of the pageantry, Mr. Christian Okoro aka Mampolo, said the program is aimed at achieving peace for Rivers State and the Niger Delta region. That after the event, the message of peace would be taken to the nooks and crannies of the state. Thomas the Mabi resigns head coach of Super Falcons as the under-17 national team arrives Brazil for competition. Anthony Kenta has more on sports.